live. Hooray, I'm live. Oh my goodness. Okay. Hello everybody. It is I, Becca Lori Hector here with Becca's Backyard Live. Now you must be saying to yourself, but Becca, you're not outside. I can't see your aspens. You're not sitting out in the pretty weather right now. No, I am not. I am in fact coming to you from my spot. This is my spot. I know a lot of times when we do our little Sunday shares, I'm usually outside. Let me sit up a little bit. I'm usually outside doing that, and I don't really ever get you to see my spot. So right now, you are seeing my spot on the couch. It's an L, and I sit in the corner, and I like it. But why? Why am I sitting here today? You must wonder. Hey, Joe. Well, I will answer that question for you. Yesterday, I had a dentist appointment. I loathe the dentist more than anything else in the whole world, though it's a close tie with the gynecologist, I will say. However, yesterday I had the dentist and I got a surprise extraction. Woo! So I had a tooth pulled yesterday on top of having another tooth worked on. And so they were all right here. It's a little swollen. It's a little painful. I'm on some good meds, so it's not that bad. But I'm just like wiped. I'm like Becca on slow mo today with this medication. So I am doing live from inside so that I don't miss it for you guys, because I wanted to talk about some stuff, and then also I have some things to share and I need your input on them. So I kind of want to do like business first, conversation later. So please excuse my bedhead, and please excuse my pajama shirt and whatever judgment you feel like making. But I'm here nonetheless with my tooth hurting, with it all, because I hate missing time with you guys. I really do. So I will stop hitting my computer so it stops shaking. I apologize. And I'm just going to do a shortened version today of live, because that's what I've got spoons for. Before we start talking about our conversation and what I want to talk about today, I know some of you guys watch Newsstand regularly, and I know that the core group of you guys that come to live every week when it's live, not catching it after the fact, you core group of people that I'm watching and looking at right now, I have to move the live stream, because if you watch Newsstand this past week, Antonio and I are on a new adventure with the food truck. And after the success of our beta week, what we've decided to do is to do the food truck on Sundays, Mondays, and Tuesdays. And if we do that, that means that come this time in the afternoon on Tuesdays, I will be pooped. And it will not be a wise use of my spoons at that point, I think, to do live. So I have some options. Please tell me which day and time-ish you think will work best for you. If you are here and you're watching it live, this is for you right now. Tell me in the chat, because I don't know where to put a poll or where else to ask. And it really only affects this core group that watches it at the live time. So I can do it on Wednesdays, I can do it on Thursdays, and I can do it on Saturdays. So I was thinking either late morning on Wednesdays or Thursdays, like 11 a.m. my time, which is like 3 hours earlier than right now, right? So at 11 a.m. my time on Wednesday or Thursday, or at a similar time on Saturday morning. I need you guys. Yeah, I know no later for you, Joe. I was definitely not thinking earlier. I was definitely thinking earlier in the day for you UK folks, definitely. So earlier in the day on Wednesday, earlier in the day on Thursday, or would you prefer a Saturday and to have me on the weekend? You guys tell me what your preference is. I think that I have a preference for Wednesday or Thursday over Saturday, just because of internet traffic. But I want to be here for you guys. If you don't have an answer for me right now, flexible. Thursday's good. Okay, good. Keep it coming as we continue through the chat. Let me know which days work for you. If you are watching this after the fact and not live, please email me or comment on the video the day and time that you prefer. Because hopefully by next week, it will be obvious to me, and maybe even by Friday in time for Newsstand, I'll be able to announce the new day and time. We're going to keep doing it. I'm going to keep doing exactly what I've been doing here for the live. Not going to change that. Oh, good. Everybody's in for Wednesday or Thursday so far, which makes me excited. And I know earlier in the day is exciting for you, Joe. I'm so excited. So yeah, we'll be moving, and it looks like so far it's going to be a Wednesday or a Thursday, probably around 11 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. I will be doing that. So I will announce it formally, of course, but I wanted to let you guys know that that change was coming and that I had to adjust Newsstand and that it will be happening next week. Yes, we are going to start the food truck officially and for real on Monday the 24th, and I'm really excited. It was really fun. It reminded me of bartending, which I really love doing a lot. And Saturday, maybe Wednesday. Okay, cool. Well, you guys keep coming at me with your times. Let me know, and I will figure it out. We will not miss our Becca's Backyard Live. We will not miss our little support group that we've created here that I love so very much. Coming to every week. I just have to move the day so I can still be the best me possible when I do it. I'm excited for us too, Stevie. I really am. It's like we've started a lot of adventures as a couple, you know, including our marriage. He also helped me start this business, my consulting business, and I'm really excited to be jumping into a business with him. And I think, no, I'm pretty sure I really, really like it. I had a lot of fun. I mean, it was getting up super duper early for me. I mean, and I'm not an early morning person. So it was getting up really, really early, but I even didn't mind the getting up early. You know, I've got cartoons. Sorry, you guys. I got distracted. Bill does cartoon, cereal, and yoga on Saturday mornings. I am not interrupting that self-care. And some of us might be copying you, it looks like. But so, yeah, let's do weekdays. Let's stay with weekdays. It'll be Wednesday or Thursday around 11 a.m., it looks like. So I'll let you know officially. But let's talk. Let's talk about some real stuff right now, because I didn't even know, couldn't even decide what to title today's episode, like what specific topic I wanted to talk about. Oh yeah, you want one, Bill? You should definitely come get one. I would love to have you guys come visit. I've thought about that. I just want you guys to know that. I know you think I don't think about you when I'm not busy. But when I'm with you guys, I think about you, and when I'm not with you, because I was thinking about those Beck sandwiches and you guys, and how much I wanted you guys to be there and share in the joy of it all, and to be able to try the sandwiches. And then also I was thinking how neat it would be to have you guys come here, right, and experience kind of the life that I've created for myself. So in the back of my mind, there's a little tiny piece that says, Becca, when you can make it happen, build a retreat. So that's an idea that's in the back of my head. Where the course used to live, it is now filled with an idea that I'm going to do a retreat for us guys, which I think would be dope. I think I'm going to do something real simple. Yes, right? Would you guys so be in? Here's what I'm thinking about. I was thinking about doing like what are those things called? An Airbnb, like renting an Airbnb with enough bedrooms for everybody who wants to come, and just doing an Airbnb. You know, we'll figure out the food situation. I don't know. I would love to meet you guys in person. That would be, I think I'd cry though if I met you guys in person. But anyway, so that's what I'm thinking about. It sounds like you guys are so down and ready for a retreat too. That'd be so much fun. Okay, I have to figure out the ins and outs of it all, and that might take me a little bit. But it was one of those ideas that came to me, and I was like, ooh, I like that idea. We'll keep it simple, keep it small, but how great would that be? So healthy. It would be so healthy for all of us. Anyway, I digress again. What do I want to talk about today? So I didn't know, and I couldn't think of it, and I couldn't, obviously the meds weren't helping. And all I could really think about was how awful the whole experience of the dentist is, and how kind of how traumatizing it is, and how much old trauma, and for good reason, I have about the dentist. And I was trying to really, because what I know what I teach you guys and what I talk about in the courses is sort of unpacking those things. When you hit those old responses, or you have some trauma memories, kind of understanding where they come from, so you can understand your triggers and you can kind of prepare for them and that kind of thing. So I always do what I advise you guys, because I lead by example. If I won't do it myself, I would never ask you to do it. Or if I haven't done it myself, I wouldn't ask you to do it. So everything that I teach you guys and talk to you about, I walk through myself. And there I was, finding myself once again in the trauma hot seat and having to go to the dentist. And I was thinking about all of the parts and pieces of the trauma, and what was it about it that gave me trauma. And I can think there, yes, we all have medical trauma. It's all huge. And so many of us have this dentist trauma, and this particular dentist trauma. And I was trying to really unpack it all. And I know that there are parts of it that were related to the autism, for sure, and the unknown of the autism, but there were also parts of it that were just straight up trauma, and any kid would have had trauma from the dentist, right? So I was trying to peel that apart. And what I started to understand about my experience from the dentist, and it came to me as like this aha moment. And then after it came to me as an aha moment, I thought, why? Why was it such an aha moment? It should have been so obvious. But I think that my trauma is rooted in sensory issues, at least from the dentist. A good chunk of all of the trauma pieces, when I go about talking about those experiences, a lot of the description ended up being about the environment, about the sensory experience of the dentist, right? There are things that immediately trigger anxiety for me, and they are directly tied to the dentist. The smell of my teeth being drilled. I don't know that everyone in the world can smell that, but I do know that autistics can. And so I definitely, the smell and the sound of my teeth being drilled, and the smell of that tooth smoke. And then I know once as a child, I actually threw up on a dentist who neglected to tell me that the smelly stuff, nitrous stuff, had a smell to it. So they had given me pineapple flavored nitrous, which was not like real pineapple, but that fake pineapple smell. And it did me in, and I threw up all over the dentist. And so there's all of these experiences of trauma, but for me, so much of them are linked to all of these sensory experiences. And I am wondering now, I started to wonder if I was able to sort of, the Novocaine needles. Oh, it was so bad, CV, yesterday. I hate it. I hate the numbing more than I hate the needles. I hate that too. That's another sensory sensation that has traumatized me, the not knowing when that feeling is going to go away and just being stuck with it. A lot of the smells at the dentist I hate having people in my space, right? And so having the dentist's face right there, big sensory issue for me. And then if their breath smells, or the sounds that their mouth makes when they talk, and it's all right here, and it's very traumatizing. And then there's the light, right? That light, that big flat one that they just know exactly how to get it in your eyeballs, that one. Lots of sensory issues with that. And then, of course, the taste. Yes, Joe. The taste of the instruments, the taste of all the things they use in your mouth, all of it. And so what I really started to really think about was I really just having sensory overwhelm at the dentist? And was it the inability to control? Oh, CV, Mary Knuckle Dentist. That's what she wrote. So gross. It'd take a minute to let that pass. Okay. But yeah, it was so tied to that. And so did I really have a trauma experience, or did I have these repeated uncontrolled sensory experiences? And that's what created the trauma. So as I was processing through that aha moment, that shouldn't have been an aha moment, I decided I was going to do something about it this time. And so while I know that I have sensory issues, I always go to the dentist with my sunglasses, with a fidget. I always put in my headphones and all the things that I know to do. But for me, it's such a big trauma that even those things don't help. So I decided to do something I've always been afraid to do, because part of my trauma is that fear of talking to the dentist, or fear of talking to the doctor. That gives me the selective mutism, definitely in the office for sure. So what I did was I called ahead. When they called to confirm with me my appointment, which I normally would have hung up on them and pretended that the appointment wasn't coming, I decided to ask if there was anything they could do. Well, lo and behold, ladies and gentlemen, there is something called sedation dentistry now. I had no idea. And they now willingly and openly provide you with medication to help you through your appointment. And it literally is just for the appointment. It lasts through the appointment, and that's it. It was a very special experience. Did it remove all the trauma? No. It was 2 pills of this medication, which is like the old-fashioned form of Ambien, so it helps you fall asleep. And one of the side effects of Ambien, as many of you may or may not know, is that you have prescribed amnesia. So you kind of forget what you were doing while you're taking the Ambien, which is why they tell you to take it and then go to sleep immediately, and not do things like operate machinery. And that's basically the medication that they gave me. They gave me a big enough dose so that for the time that I was at the dentist, I was so disoriented that I basically had prescribed amnesia. So for the first time in my dental history, I left without new trauma layered onto my old trauma. Hooray! And now I will be doing this going forward. I guess the cons of the sedation dentistry was that somebody had to drive me and be there to pick me up. I definitely couldn't drive. And that kind of the rest of my day was sort of shot. I just felt really groggy and out of it the rest of the day. I kept kind of falling asleep, waking up, kind of the way you would after anesthesia of some kind. But other than that, those two slight inconveniences, it was the first time that I went to and left the dentist's office without adding trauma to my old trauma, without continuing to layer it on. So I consider that a success, though I still will forever be, I think, traumatized by the dentist. At least I know there are new and better ways that I can make it just a little bit easier on myself. And maybe that will make me go a little bit more often so that maybe I won't have to have teeth pulled all the time. So that's kind of the story that I wanted to share with you. It's a little bit about trauma and medical trauma and dental trauma, and some about sensory overload, but also about remembering that life isn't stagnant, that the medical history isn't stagnant, and that at some point the dentist realized that they were traumatizing us, and now there's something that we can do about it. There are new things happening. So how quick did it work? Great question, Joe. So the instructions were it was 2 pills and to take them an hour before the appointment. So I did that exactly. Next time I do it, I definitely kicked in before the appointment, but it didn't kick all the way in almost until the middle of the appointment. So next time I'm going to take it an hour and a half before the appointment. But once it kicked in, boom. And then I slept on the way home from the dentist, and I was a little groggy when I got home, but then that's it. Then it was just the pain from the dentist. But it really made a huge difference. And so if you are someone that suffers from dental trauma and going to the dentist, there are new things out there and stuff you can now do. It's called sedation dentistry. If you're somebody who doesn't have trauma with the dentist, congratulations, you're so lucky. And if you're somebody who has medical trauma, well, maybe it's time we start asking those questions. Maybe some of those things need to be changed. Maybe at some point the doctors will realize that they're traumatizing us. And maybe, just maybe, they'll be able to change their behavior instead of medicating us. Who knows? We'll see. But I had to share that with you guys. Hey, Nancy. I had to share that with you guys. I had to let you know that I was doing it. Yes, I did feel vulnerable also. And yes, Antonio came with me. He drove me. He sat in the appointment with me, and he drove me home. And that was perfectly fine with them, and it's absolutely acceptable. Every person is allowed a support person with them in their medical appointments. So yes, I felt then vulnerable, and yes, I would bring someone with you. Can they do it for just a checkup? I would think so. I don't have as much trauma when I go to the checkup. For some reason, when I know I'm going and they are not going to be doing anything to me, like there's not going to be any drilling or anything like that, I can work through the trauma. But when I have the actual appointments, where I know they're going to be doing things to my mouth, then I always have this it's paralyzing trauma. The only additional cost was, can they do it just for checkups? I would say ask your dentist. I don't see why not. And was there an additional cost? Only the additional cost was for the medication itself. So what I had to pay to get the prescription, which was like $3 for 2 pills or something. So that was the only additional cost, was to go and get the prescription. Other than that, it was the same cost for all the dental care. So yeah, it was still kind of like as affordable as dental care can be, I guess. But it made such a difference. So I wanted to share that with you guys. I wanted to let you know that I still have trauma, that I still process through my trauma. Even now, as I teach you guys how to do it yourselves, I am still doing it for myself on a regular basis. And I wanted to know you to know that I had that experience, and that all of what it means for me, and kind of peeling it apart, what that looked like for me, and what I managed to do about it, which was a little bit different than what I've ever managed to do before. And I hope that inspires you to maybe handle your appointments differently as we go forward and learn and grow about and learn about ourselves, and grow into ourselves. Yeah, Nancy, that's what I was talking about. I was talking all about the dental work and how they have this new thing called sedation dentistry. But you'll catch up. You will definitely catch up, right? I want to be. That's exact. I sang the song, Bill. I sang I want to be sedated as soon as I hung up the phone with the dentist. Couldn't help it. Had to do it. But it was a really worthwhile experience. So now you see this tooth, you guys, and I'm going to point it out. I hide it all the time. I never smile, and sometimes you can see it, that tooth. Okay. I had to have that tooth taken out a really long time ago in my 20s. I had a cyst up here, so the whole tooth had to come out. It's now an implant, and it looks gray because it's metal and you can see it. And I have the temporary cap on. I've had the temporary cap on for 15 years or something like that. And I'm finally going to have it replaced and have a new one put in so that it doesn't look ugly and brown and too small and all the things that it is right now. But that's what's been, trauma has been keeping me from feeling better about myself. And I don't want to be kept that way. I don't want to let the trauma lock me in. So that's my story for today. I hope you guys learned something from it. I hope you didn't mind me coming from my couch in my pajamas, slightly sedated, telling you the stories. And I hope some of it made sense. I am so excited to really get started on the food truck. And I thank you for your flexibility, and you're willing to compromise with me on a day so that I can do live on a day when we can all be there. Again, I will let you know whether I choose Wednesday or Thursday. I'm leaning towards Thursday, but if more people want Wednesday, I will go with Wednesday. Yeah, and we'll do early in the day for the UK people, so it doesn't have to be right before bed. And that's it. If you guys have any thoughts or any comments about what it is that I talked about here, don't forget to leave me a message in the comments or email me directly at info@beccalaurie.com. And if you are interested in my course, which is Self-Defined Living, which a bunch of us are all doing together right now, you can head over to my website, which is beccalaurie.com. Take a look at the webinars tab called Self-Defined Living and learn all about it there. Nancy, I got you for the scholarship list for Unit 3. Everybody else, I think you're all already on it. If you want to double check on your place on the scholarship list, please email me at info@beccalaurie.com. If you don't need a scholarship, get yourself registered. If you missed Unit 1 and Unit 2, you can catch up. They will be on the website this week. Unit 1 is already up. Unit 2 will be up shortly. And then you can catch up and join us live with Unit 3. Yay. Okay, thank you guys for joining me again for Becca's Backyard Live right here on Tuesday afternoons. We will soon be moving to Wednesday or Thursday in the late morning for me. I will see you guys on Friday for Neurodiversity Newsstand, and then I will see you guys next week for Becca's Backyard Live on our new day. Have an amazing week, you guys. Do something great with it. Do your self-care. Take care of you. Create some joy and share it with others, and I will see you next time. Bye.